The hum of the car engine did nothing to settle the pounding in my chest. After 6 years behind bars, the world still felt too loud, too sharp. Freedom was supposed to taste sweet, but right now, all I could think about was the promise I made, the one thing that carried me through every night in that cell. I will propose on this exact day. I will keep my word. Mr. Blackwell adjusted his cuffs, his gaze cool, calculating yet respectful, in the way only powerful men could disguise. "You're getting out tomorrow," he said. "Why file a parole request for a single day early?" I looked out the window, breathing slow. 6 years ago, I made a vow, I said. I promised my girl I'd propose today. So yes, sir, one day matters. He studied me for a long moment. "Then you'd better catch your ride." That was as emotional as a man like him would ever get, but it was enough. I stepped out into the sunlight, the warmth unfamiliar on my skin. I didn't expect my first moment of freedom to involve a kid screaming at some rich jerk, but life liked surprises. "Stop yelling at my mommy," a little girl cried, tiny fists balled up. The guy, well-dressed, smug, dripping entitlement, snapped, "Shut it, you little brat." I stepped in without thinking. Must be real tough, going after a kid. He spun, eyes filled with fury. "Who the hell are you?" "Just a man trying to keep trouble from swallowing me whole." But no point saying that aloud. The woman, her name was Mara, pulled Lila close, eyes apologetic and exhausted. "I'm so sorry, she must have thought you were someone else." Layla shook her head stubbornly. "No, Mommy. He is my daddy." I froze. Mara froze. The dirtbag froze. Kids didn't lie with that kind of conviction. But then Mara turned to me with a shaky breath. I know this sounds insane, but thank you. You helped my daughter. No one ever stands up to Damien. What if I could make it worth your while?" She blurted suddenly. "Will you marry me? Be my husband? I can pay you $1 million a month. A Bugatti as a signing bonus." I stared at her. 6 years in prison, and this was the first proposal I got. "Ma'am, tempting, but I have a girlfriend. I'm proposing tonight." Leela pouted. "Is she prettier than my mommy?" My throat tightened, because for a split second, I didn't know how to answer that. And that was the moment food arrived. Dessert, my girlfriend's favorite. I picked it up, convincing myself everything would be fine. I had no idea the next hour would destroy 6 years of faith. I didn't plan to propose to a stranger today, but I was drowning, professionally, publicly. If Damien North succeeded in forcing a marriage, Mirror Media would be gone. My family would take the company, and Lila and we'd have no safety left. Then this stranger, Kael, stepped between Damien and my daughter without hesitation. No one had ever challenged Damien. No one. But he did. So when the walls closed in, when the scandals hit, when my staff told me the top 3 media companies were teaming up with Damien to crush me, I panicked. Maybe Kael saw it, because he overheard the call and said quietly, "Maybe I can help." "You?" I asked. He nodded. Calm, controlled, as if my problems were just another small task. And then he made a single phone call. Minutes later, "Miss Ellington," my assistant gasped, "every smear post about you is gone. All of them. Impossible." Except it wasn't. And then came news of the North family. Stock plummeting 80%, scandals exposed, accusations spiraling. With one call, no ordinary man had that reach. Yet Kael stepped back as if he'd done nothing. "Told you to wait," he said softly. Lila beamed up at him. "You're awesome, like superhero awesome." His smile at her was small but real. I couldn't help it. I asked again, gently, "Will you marry me? Not for money this time, for Lila, for safety, for everything." He looked at me with a sort of tired bravery, the kind you only saw in soldiers and men who'd carried too much alone. "Why me?" he whispered. "Because you're the kind of man who will build an empire one day," I said, "and I would be proud to stand beside you." His answer was simple. Okay. Just like that, my world changed. Lila threw her arms around him. Daddy. For the first time in years, hope flickered inside my chest. Tonight was my gala, and I wanted him beside me. I thought I was ready for anything after prison. Turns out, I wasn't ready for her. Serena Vale. She stood outside her building, expensive dress, perfect hair, nose tilted up like she'd never cried in my arms 6 years ago. Like she never begged me to take the fall for her. Kael, she said, flicking invisible dust off her designer purse. We're done. Wait, what? My voice cracked. I hated that it cracked. She rolled her eyes. You're broke. You have a record. I'm about to be head of news at Mira Media. 20 million a year. You think I want to be seen with someone who buys dollar desserts? I lifted the small cake I'd brought for her. Her favorite. She sneered. Are you trying to make me fat? God, Kael, grow up. 6 years of waiting collapsed in my chest like wet sand. This is because you're rich now, I whispered. This is because you're nothing now, she corrected coldly. A gutter rat who can be tossed back in prison any minute. I felt the sting. Then I remembered something. Something she said 6 years ago when she cried in my arms. Serena. The hotel room. When they caught you with the stolen goods. Oh, stop. She waved it off. You volunteered to go to prison. Don't blame me for your bad decision. You told me you didn't steal it. I lied, she snapped. I only went into your room for cash. You woke up and started acting like some tragic hero. And hey, worked out for me. She smirked. See you never, dumbass. She turned and strutted away. A strange stillness settled over me. 6 years of devotion dissolved in a single minute. Who saved me then? If it wasn't her, who pulled me out of danger 6 years ago, I didn't have an answer, and I hated that I cared. Then Lila appeared, tugging my sleeve. Mr. Handsome, thank you for saving Mommy and me. Her small hand grounded me in a way Serena never had. At least someone believed in me. The moment he agreed to marry me, everything started spinning faster. My gala was tonight. The entire industry would be there. My rivals, my family, reporters, social elites, the type who judge with their eyes before they hear a single word. And Kael, he was walking into that battlefield with me. I sent a driver and stylist for him, wanting him to look like he belonged in my world, because he did, whether the others saw it yet or not. When I arrived backstage at the gala, lights shining against the mirrored walls, Serena Vale was already soaking up attention. Congratulations, she said with a smile that wasn't a smile. Handpicked by Miss Ellington to lead the news division. I owe everything to her. My stomach tightened, and then I heard it. A whisper. A sneer. Kael? What the hell is he doing here? Serena's voice. My blood froze. I stepped forward toward the hall entrance, but by the time I reached the doorway, Kael was already surrounded by Serena, her sister, and half a dozen socialites who acted like wolves, dressed in velvet. Don't think dressing up makes you part of high society, Serena hissed. You snuck in. This is not a prison yard. Kael didn't flinch. Sneak in? Mara sent a driver for me. Gasps. Disbelief. Serena's sister scoffed loudly. You expect us to believe Miss Ellington personally invited a nobody like you? It escalated quickly. They shoved at him, called him trash, rat, hobo, demanded he crawl out and pick up money with his teeth. My hands curled into fists as I pushed through the crowd, furious, breath tight. How dare they touch him? How dare they try to humiliate my husband? Then Serena raised her hand to slap him. He caught her wrist before it connected, not with anger, but warning. The crowd roared. Security was called. I could feel the tension vibrating through the room, like electricity just waiting for a spark. I needed to get inside. I needed to reach him. But before I stepped into view, I heard Serena laugh, venom sweet. You keep running your mouth, Kael. Once Miss Ellington gets here, there won't be a single corner of this country you can hide in. He chuckled, and said, Wow, Mara's that scary. Serena growled, Filth, like you should keep her name out of your mouth. I stopped walking. Filth, trash, trash. My pulse pounded in my ears as my assistant rushed to me. Miss Ellington, she whispered urgently. The director of the CIA personally warned us to stop digging into Kael's past. We can't find anything else. I blinked. The CIA? Who was this man I married? I needed to know, right now. Rich people had a funny way of acting brave when surrounded by friends and wine. 2 bodyguards stepped in front of Serena, cracking knuckles. Pick up the money with your teeth, one said. Crawl. Then we'll let you leave. Yeah, the other added. Don't push your luck. We're being polite for Miss Vale's sake. Then he tossed a metal card on the floor. 200 grand on that card. Fetch. The crowd laughed. Lila's voice rang in my head. You're awesome. Like superhero awesome. And I felt something inside me lock into place. I stepped past them and lowered myself into a seat at the head of the banquet table. Hey, Serena shrieked. Get your filthy ass off Miss Ellington's throne. I stretched out in the chair. Oh, this is Mara's seat? Cool, I'll stay. Silence fell like a guillotine. Everyone froze. Everyone stared. You're dead, someone whispered. When Miss Ellington finds out, she'll kill you, Serena's sister finished. I clasped my hands calmly. Actually, I said, I can afford just about anything in this world. They laughed, harsh and sharp like broken glass. You think you're better than Miss Ellington? Serena snapped. Maybe you really do have good journalistic instincts after all. The gasp that followed was theatrical. That was when Serena hit me, hard. The slap echoed across the chandelier-lit hall, and I realized something. I was done letting people walk over me. I stood. Security stormed in. Everything was seconds away from exploding. And then, a voice cut through the chaos. Strong, cold, furious. Stop. Every person in the hall turned toward the doors. Mara Ellington had arrived. I walked into the ballroom, and the temperature shifted instantly. Conversations died. Glasses paused midair. Every set of eyes, supporters, rivals, enemies, all snapped toward me. But my focus found only one person, Kael. Sitting in my chair as if it already belonged to him. Calm, steady, fiercely unshaken despite the horde surrounding him. Layla clung to his arm, glaring at everyone like a tiny lioness. He looked relieved to see me, and furious on my behalf. Serena Vale plastered on a panicked smile. Miss Ellington, let us explain. This bottom-feeding criminal snuck into your event. Hold on, I said quietly. Who are you calling a bottom feeder? Her mouth hung open. I wasn't talking to you. Don't interrupt. My voice cut sharper than I intended. Months of stress, betrayal, public attacks, and now discovering that Kael's past was a sealed vault. Even the CIA wouldn't let me open. It all pressed against my ribs. I turned to Sam Vale. I asked you a question. She pointed a trembling hand at Kael. Him. He's sitting in your seat. He's a parasite. I raised a brow. He's my husband. The room detonated in gasps. Serena stumbled back. Her sister's jaw dislocated. Half the hall looked like they were watching their careers die in real time. Husband? Serena whispered. Miss Ellington. He tricked your daughter. He used the child to get close to you. Lila stomped her foot. Daddy never tricked me. Mommy asked him to marry her. Silence slammed over the ballroom. Disbelief cracked across dozens of stunned faces. Every accusation tossed at Kael dissolved instantly. But the moment still held a tight coil of chaos. People whispering. Cameras quietly lifted. Phones held low. Scandals forming in real time. I lifted my chin. My daughter is correct. I'm the one who proposed. Someone choked on champagne. Serena's lips trembled. How is any of this possible? I just broke up with him this morning, and now he's married to the Queen of News." Her sister jabbed a finger at Kael. "He must have sweet-talked your daughter and took advantage of her to get close to you. A convicted crook." And there it was, the last line of the accusations, the last shred of noise, but the moment didn't feel finished. Not for me, not for him, so I stepped forward. I didn't know what Mara would say next. Part of me braced for disappointment, for her to distance herself, to smooth the situation for optics, to treat me with the same disgust and panic the others did. But Mara Ellington walked toward me like a storm with purpose. "Enough," she said, low but forceful, every syllable slicing through the air. "No one here speaks over me at my own gala." The room froze. Even Serena didn't dare breathe. Mara stood beside my chair, our chair now, whether she realized it or not, and placed her hand on my shoulder. A simple gesture, but it hit deeper than any punch I'd ever taken. "I don't care what any of you think you know," she said. "Kael Rowan is my husband, and Layla's father from this day forward." Layla grinned proudly, holding on to my sleeve like she'd won a prize. My chest tightened, not with fear, but with something I hadn't felt in years. Something almost like belonging. Mara continued, addressing the entire hall. "And let me make something perfectly clear. Any insult toward my husband is an insult toward me. I won't tolerate it." Gasps rippled. A few people stepped back like my presence was suddenly radioactive, but not because of me, because of her. Because she had chosen me. Of all people in this glittering, ruthless world, she chose me. Serena looked between us with a dawning horror, realizing she had picked the wrong side of fate. Her glamorous composure cracked clean down the middle. For years, she believed she had traded up. Now she looked like she'd lost everything without even understanding how. Her voice broke. "Miss Ellington, surely you're mistaken. He's dangerous. He's a criminal." Mara didn't even blink. "And he's still more honorable than every person who laid a hand on him tonight." A sharp, collective inhale from the crowd. My throat tightened, unexpected emotion building behind my ribs. I didn't deserve that kind of defense. Not yet. Not truly. But I felt Lila's small hand squeeze mine, and she whispered, "I am here forever and always."